Welcome back. Education is a massive topic of conversation, of course, at the federal, state, local level. And just a few days ago, the Minnesota House Education Finance Committee discussed legislation to invest more than $31 million in one-time funding to ensure that teachers are paid for the time they spend receiving literacy training. The bill is being considered for this session's education budget bill. Joining us now is Representative Mary Frances Clardy, Democrat representing the Inver Grove Heights area, also a teacher in St. Paul. And part of that school district for, what, 29 years now. So she knows what she's talking about in regards to education. Tell us about this, because $31 million, that's a big number. Where is that money coming from?
So a lot of this funding was done in the last biennium, and it was just to make sure that all of our kids could read, okay, and that all our teachers had the tools that they needed to teach reading, because sometimes people think reading just comes naturally, but it's explicitly taught.
And explain how these adjustments that you're proposing for the READ Act, how will this actually work? What would you like to see happen?
Well, currently I'm in the training right now because I am a teacher. So what happens is the teachers are taking weeks of reading instruction, and it's having them evaluate and understand how a reader learns to read.
But they're doing that time not on their own time. They're getting paid for it now, or where's the money coming from now that this would make an improvement in your mind?
I wouldn't exactly say they're getting paid for it. They're getting a stipend to do it, but they're also getting the benefit of learning how to engage their students. So, example, each school district gets to set their per diem for the teachers, and like for my school district, we each will get like $1,000 at the end of the year after doing the training, which sounds like a chunk of money, but I know a couple units that I've worked on have been like maybe 6 hours of studies.
Yeah, and you multiply that by however many teachers in any given district, and the numbers add up quickly. We know, all the complications with the Department of Education, and there's so much unknown right now as far as funding for education. How does that all play into when you're trying to get a bill through for our state legislature right now?
There's a lot that we have to look at. For example, if the Department of Education is dismantled, that's going to be about 10% of our budget, which is, a couple $1 million that are taken out of our district. I mean, out of our school system. So that we have to consider that with how to make it a safe environment for the kids, for learning, and for just safety, and just food, and social workers and counselors. So it is kind of a mix of that, but we also need to figure out how to retain teachers and get people in the field. So we're also looking on the other end with pensions too. So it's kind of a balancing act, and I'm hoping to work with the governor and the Senate to make sure that our kids thrive.
Yeah. And so what will be, for your bill specifically, what will be the next steps?
The next step, it's gone through committees in the House and the Senate, so the next step will be for the conference committee to go through it and determine the amount. And so I'm feeling optimistic, but it depends on, what the target has to offer us.
Yeah, how challenging? I mean, there's so many unknowns, there's so much to juggle and to balance in any given legislative session, but with the added layer of everything that's going on nationally and just trying to balance all that, I imagine specifically when we're talking education and finance, it's an added challenge.
It is a challenge, but we have our conversations open with the school districts and the superintendents. So there's in Department of Education and MDE. So it's a lot of us making this decision. It seems like it's just the people that are on the floor, but it's a collaborative effort. And it's also bipartisan. It's a bipartisan bill, and I'm working with a representative from Austin, Minnesota, that's on the other side, and so we're working hand in hand to get this across for kids.
Yeah, and we'll continue to watch to see where it goes, along with everything else happening at the legislative session. So, Representative Clardy, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.